Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. I was inspired a couple of days ago by a devotion that somebody shared that I work with. And from what I gather, it seemed that she had been going through some things and she had this revelation that was given to her. And I wanted to share that with you because it was so profound. And it's something that I think that we all need to remember when we're thinking about ourselves and when we're thinking about others. No matter who you are, what stage of life you are, how old you are, how tall you are, how heavy you are, how much you make, what you do for a living, your education, no matter all the things that make up you, there is always something that you can bring to the table. There is always something you can offer. There is always something that you can present. Now, what you present, what you offer, yesterday we talked about your offering. What you give, what you offer, what you present may be different than what somebody else offers and presents, but there is always something that you can come to the table with. And in addition to that, especially when we're talking about God's table, the table is big enough and long enough and wide enough that no matter what you bring to the table, there's room at that table for what you bring. And sometimes people will have you feel that what you have to offer, what you bring, your gifts, your talents, all of those things are insignificant. Sometimes people will make you think that what they bring is better than what you bring and what you have to offer. But the table of God is big enough, wide enough to accept everything that you bring to the table. And furthermore, there will never be a time that when your spirit is in the right place, when your heart is in the right place, when you are humble, when you are in the right place with God, there is never a time when God will reject what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table, what I bring to the table, what my son brings to the table, what our significant others bring to the table, as long as what is brought is humble, what is brought is under the umbrella of God, what is brought is done with thanksgiving and in the right spirit, God will never reject what we bring to the table. And so I want to encourage you on today to don't be concerned with what you bring to the table. Don't be concerned what level you are. Just know that whatever you bring to the table is accepted and is of value to God. Everybody has something to bring to the table. We may not know at certain times what that something is, but we all have something. And if you don't know what you have to bring to the table, that's when we need to pray. That's when we need to seek God and say, God, what have you put in me that I can bring to the table? What is special? What do I have? What gifts have you given me, God, that I can take and present to you at the table? God, I know I have a gift. I know I have something that I bring to the table. Now, God, please show me what I have to bring to the table. And God does not want us to feel insignificant. God does not want us to be at a place where we feel as if our gifts are not warranted. Our gifts are not special. Our gifts are not of value. God doesn't want that for us, because you know what? The things that we have, that we bring to the table, God gave them to us. God put them in us. And so why would God reject the very things that he has given us if we are giving them in the spirit in which he has put them in us. And so, this has been just heavy on my heart when that devotion was shared a couple of days ago. It really resonated in my heart because there are so many people who are holding back, so many people who look down on their own gifts and talents, so many people who don't want to come to the table and give what they have because they feel insignificant, they feel lower. People have made them to feel as if what they have is not welcome at God's table. Every gift, every talent, every effort, everything that God has put in us is welcome at God's table. We don't have to feel bad. We don't have to look down on our own gifts and talents. We don't have to do any of that. Why? Because the things that God has given us to present at the table are the very things that he puts in us. And again, the table is wide. The table is long. There is always space at the table for us to bring whatever it is that we have. We don't have to squeeze our way in. We don't have to push our way in. We don't have to push people aside. We don't have to be concerned because maybe somebody else's gift or what they're bringing to the table looks similar to what we bring to the table. None of that is relevant. What we have, what God has given us, regardless of whether it looks like somebody else's, whether or not we feel that it's bigger or lesser or more complicated or more simple or more detailed, whatever that looks like, God has given us whatever it is that we have to present to the table, and the table is big enough to accommodate everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next time on Talks in the Car.